The Harbaugh experience is finally over, and every Ravens fan has been celebrating that they no longer have to suffer through the same fate every year. The day the Baltimore Ravens sealed their fate to never win another championship was on March 28, 2025, the day they extended Harbaugh through 2028 season. Most Ravens fans were depressed after hearing that news. It wasn't surprising because the general manager, EDC, and the Ravens front office has a weird obsession with prioritizing personal relationships over performance and winning. They proved this again recently when they made a huge mistake re-signing Mark Andrews to 3 more years for $40 million. Mark Andrews has played over 8 playoff games since he's been in the league and has never scored a touchdown. He costed the Ravens season last year by choking the game away against the Bills. And if we being honest, they should have traded him right then and there because he's already declining and he's getting slower and less durable. But EDC responded by extending him to another 3 years. And to anyone questioning whether or not this was a bad extension, just look at his numbers since he got the deal. It's clear the Ravens front office doesn't give out deals based on performance and rather relationships. Knowing them, they'll probably extend Tyler Lue to a max contract after he cost the Ravens their season. I ain't gonna lie, every Ravens fan's gotta thank Tyler Lue for saving their franchise, because if he had made that field goal, bro, we would have had another 3 more years of Harbaugh, bro. It would have been bad. We would have been stuck with him for another 3 to 5 years, matter of fact. And I don't think that Ravens can take that mental torture. But the thing with this, I don't understand why there's like a group of people who's trying to gaslight Ravens fans into thinking that we're somehow going to regret firing Harbaugh, and how Harbaugh's just an amazing coach that we're going to miss and we're never going to recover. Like, come on, bro. Anyone who watched the Ravens since 2012 knows the amount of times we lost 1 million games because of coaching and because of bad coaching. Ask any Ravens fans the amount of times they've lost because they refuse to run the ball or refuse to manage the clock or manage timeouts correctly. Good coaches don't make those mistakes repeatedly like that. There's a real reason why people call Harbaugh the Doc Rivers of the NFL. Both of those coaches are living off a championship that they gained a decade ago. Anyone who uses that as an indicator or proof of how Harbaugh or Doc Rivers is a good coach in 2026, you're delusional. Anyone who watched that 2012 championship knows that they didn't win because of Harbaugh's leadership. They won it because of Ed Reed and Ray Lewis's leadership. Ray Lewis built that culture. Ed Reed built that culture. Jonathan Ogden built that culture. Yanda built that culture. Haloti Nada built that culture. Terrell Suggs built that culture. It wasn't Harbaugh. Several players from that roster has came out and said they bumped heads with Harbaugh that whole season. Guys like Shannon Sharp, Derek Mason, Jamal Lewis, and many more built this culture to what it is. Harbaugh walked into a perfect situation and hasn't done a damn thing since he got carried to the Super Bowl by a team full of legends. Do you know how many coaches around the league would have won multiple championships with the teams he's had since 2012? Change was needed more than ever, and his time has ran out. And I want y'all to realize that Harbaugh planned on running it back with the same exact coaching staff. You know how insane it would have been if we had brought back Zach Orr after he turned the Ravens defense into a complete joke? I don't know how much Zach Orr or Harbaugh is paying the media to say he's quote-unquote a bright young coach when he's been the worst defensive coordinator in football, where quarterbacks like Drake May, Josh Allen, J.J. McCarthy, Malik Willis have all nearly had career-high games against him and his defense. Running it back with Harbaugh and Zach Orr would have been the worst option. We can't spend all offseason pushing some lame redemption arc. Our best option was to fire the whole